Hello and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor.
And today we're going to be talking about the movie Little Monsters from 2019. And I'm excited. What are you drinking, Felicia?
I am drinking, I'm liking these. It is a beer. It's called Rogue Chocolate Stout Nitro.
Ooh, yeah.
And when you open it, it goes, it kind of explodes. Well, it doesn't come out, but it makes a sound that kind of startles you. And that's literally, if you can't see it, like chocolate bars in a glass is so good.
That seems like it would be good for some people. I am not a chocolate fan. So I was like, I don't know about that. I do like a vanilla porter, though. And you sent like a vanilla coffee porter, like a picture of that.
That one is really, really good. I like that one too. We really scored on the craft beers we went and got. I don't even know if that's what they're called, craft beers, but we went and got a bunch of the vanilla, the chocolate. We got this maple fudge chocolate coffee.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm drinking I decided to switch it up a little bit. I went to the store and got some more Buffalo Trace, but little did I know, Jade showed up with a gallon of Crown Royal that his client gave him as a holiday gift. He's always getting gifts around Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff from his clients, so that's really cute. But that's what I'm drinking is
Crown Royal.
Crown Royal.
Nice.
I don't know that I love it. I don't know that I'd buy it for myself.
I think I've ever had it. Because I got introduced to whiskey and drinking whiskey on the rocks by my husband, but he's really picky about his whiskey, and you know what I mean. And not that Crown Royal is bad whiskey. I have no idea. I've just never had it.
Yeah,
just take back everything I say. Maybe it's I don't know. I've just never had it. It's the one that comes in the little velvet bag. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not. I don't know. It just seems like basic Canadian whiskey. I'm not super stoked, but I got the Buffalo Trace, and then I was like, why not change it up? I'm gonna try something else today. So
I have something to share.
Ooh,
it's
okay,
a present that Tawny Rays of Sunshine got me, and I'm wearing it.
Yes, and for all of you listening, it's a t-shirt that says Night of the Living Karens.
It is so fun. It's like a movie poster, because at the very bottom, it's like the bottom of a movie poster, and it's so incredibly cute and funny. And you got this from your friend's company, right?
I did. So my college friend Trenton made these t-shirts. He has recently started just making some t-shirts and selling them online, and so the company is called No Cash Values. We'll put a little link. I don't have to look it up. Well, I will look it up actually, because I don't want to misspeak.
And this is Token Presents. Is that something?
I think, that's the... Let me just...
Well, while she looks it up, I want to highly recommend this, because it is really soft, and it fits really well. It's nice and loose and soft. It's not sometimes you get a shirt online and it's really stiff. This isn't. It's a really nice quality t-shirt. The color, the print on the front is really vibrant. It's really great.
That's good to know. Yeah, I ordered mine, but I haven't gotten it yet. But I got it for us both as our 1,000 downloads gift.
Yes, it's so cute. It's tagless as well.
Oh, good. Okay, that's cool. So the business is called Token, and then No Cash Values, that's the website, nocashvalues.com. And it's also just their little, I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's really tiny.
Oh, yeah.
But Token, No Cash Values.
Oh, I see. It's a token with no cash value. It's oh, how cute.
Yeah, like an arcade coin. Anyway, Trenton is awesome. Check him out and these shirts out. I don't know if he'll be doing more. I assume he will. So, but yeah, I'm excited to get mine.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. What else has been going on?
That whole thing I told you the other day where I'm going to listen to other people's podcasts at least 3 times a week. So that did not happen, but that was only because My little one got quarantined. She's okay, but someone in her class was sick. And so she was home with me. And it just seemed like it got a crazy week, like right after I told you that. But what I had shared with Tawny, and it is something that I'm going to do, is I'm going to listen to at least a couple, if not more, of the different podcasts that, follow us and interact with us. I really want to give the love back. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to, share it as well on Instagram. I'm all about that. I'm all about promoting and sharing other people's work. And, I was talking about, oh yeah, I love Joe Rogan and I love, these other people, and they don't need more people talking about them. Of course, everybody should listen, like whatever. But I was thinking like podcasts like ours, or growing podcasts, or new podcasts, in various stages, and really just engaging with their content and sharing. So I have a list of different ones that I was going to do and listen to. And so I'm just going to keep rotating it. I used to listen to, I told you I listen to those podcasts. I read, I write, we do the podcast. And so I used to have a corporate day job where I drove. So 2 hours a day I was on the road, and I would just consume podcasts, and I don't do that anymore. So I've really been missing out on a lot of stuff. But I will tell you what I've been listening to, what I started with, that I really, really like these ladies so far. It's I swear this is my first beer. Okay. A transatlantic mystery. I don't know why I can't say Atlantic. Transatlantic mystery.
There you go. Once the pressure was off, you did it.
That's the name of the podcast. I personally am listening to episode 20, the Chowchilla bus kidnapping. And it's like scrolling very slow. Murder of Shonda Scherer. So I'm just in the bus kidnapping right now, and I really like these ladies. They're pretty cool. I like the way they're explaining everything. So far so good.
That's awesome. I am in the same boat. I'm having a really hard time listening to podcasts because once my commute was gone, I really only listen when I get ready in the morning, and that it takes like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like really hard. If it's like a long form podcast, which is my favorite type, you have to listen to it in like over 3 days, So I have been, and the ones that I am listening to right now are still like politic focused, just because I'm having a hard time pulling out of the news of that. So at some point I'll get back to fun entertainment podcasts.
I was giving all my time to that chapter, which I still love them. Love it. I'm a part of their Patreon and I love them. And then it took me a week to listen to the Russell Brand Joe Rogan 3 hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it took me an entire week. So yeah, I'm gonna dedicate to some time. And I'm the same as you. I love the long form ones. So it's just an extra amount of time.
I told Felicia this, but I think it was like off air, but I was like, you should listen to the Miley Cyrus Joe Rogan podcast episode. It was so good.
I started it.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a while to finish.
Yeah, I'm already like, I think I'm about 45 minutes in.
Okay.
But it is really good. I did start listening to that.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I liked it a lot. I was just like, damn, where's she been? Miley Cyrus. She's been, I guess, doing stuff, but good for her. She's great. I've only been watching stuff, and really I'm just watching Schitt's Creek. And I do want to say that I started the second season of Castle Rock, which is, all Stephen King kind of stuff. Admittedly, I did not love the first season. Like, it ramped up really... It started off really good, and then it just, like, fizzled out at the end. I really, really did not like the end. So I've been very hesitant to start the second season, but I just needed something to, like, put on, to have on in the background, and now it's, like, starting to really grab my attention. I'm probably, like, halfway through the season, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is getting a little interesting. So I'm going to reserve my judgment for the end, but it seems like could be good, but I said that the first time, so.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't finished that one. I haven't finished Monsterland. It's just so hard because my baby is always home. During the day I'm doing work, but at night, she's home, and so it's been difficult, and I just want to maybe Mother's Day. That's what I'll ask for. I'll ask to be left alone in a room and just food and drinks delivered to me, and I'm just going to binge horror and scary shit all day.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do, actually, because I did that the last couple Mother's Day ago, years ago, with Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
You could do it for your birthday also.
That's sooner. That would be better, yeah.
Yeah.
I did start watching this show called 13.
Okay.
But again, everyone keeps coming in the room. It's about a girl who was kidnapped at the age of 13 and held for 13 years. I believe both the same. You get the feeling as a sex slave captive type person.
Okay.
But it starts with her escaping, and there's something off. So the cops are saying there's holes in her story, but they're trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's obviously been through a lot, but there's something more there. And so I'm curious where they'll take it, because I know there's a true crime story, and I don't remember the lady's name, but she had actually ran away with this man, and she was staying with this man, and then it was kind of I believe a dominant sort of dynamic, and then he kind of ended up taking her as a slave, like a sex slave or whatever. I'm not a prisoner. That's it. Kind of like a captive, and just like a prisoner. And so then she ended up, it kind of did transition to her being held against her will, but there was this whole thing about that because she let people go on thinking that she was kidnapped when she wasn't, but then transitioned. Anyways, I'm wondering if that might be the case, or what is up. So I am pretty curious. I'm I think 3 or 4 episodes in on that one, but it's I start all these things and I don't finish anything.
Yeah, it's hard to, especially if it drops off. We started watching Ratchet and just dropped off. How
stupid excited was I for Ratchet?
Yeah.
I have not seen more than 3 episodes.
Oh, shit. I was going to ask you. I assumed you finished it, and
Nope.
You just were keeping quiet because you didn't want to tell.
I
didn't want to ruin it.
No, I couldn't watch it because either the baby was around or my older daughter was like, oh, yeah, I'll watch this with you. And, I love that. But then that's just another person that has to be available to watch the show with me.
No, that really handcuffs you, right? Because it's Jade and I have a set of shows that we watch together. But then it's if he's not around or he's playing games or whatever, I'm I have to pick something to watch myself. And so I'm left with all these shows that really I'm not excited about to watch by myself. That's why I started Misery, or the second season of Castle Rock, that's based on Annie Wilkes from Misery.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? I'm just giving myself permission, and if she's probably not even going to listen to this because it's my middle daughter that listens to our podcast. I'm watching Ratchet.
Yeah, just finish it.
I'm just going to finish. She's all into her anime stuff. She's not going to be available.
If it's really good, this is the deal Jade and I make. If there's something that's really, we have to watch it, we just promise to rewatch it with the other person. It ends up being good, right? We're okay, you can watch it, but if it's good, you have to rewatch it with me.
No, that's good. And I hope Misery is on our list. I loved that book.
Oh, yeah, and the movie.
I would be excited for you to watch the movie.
I think it is on our list, and good. I have seen it.
Oh, you have seen it. Okay.
Yes. And I just feel this girl does a really good job of playing her. Maybe I am just alone in that, but I've only seen Misery once lately, so I don't know. Maybe I don't have the best opinion on that, but
I haven't seen her yet. Because I'm still in the beginning where there's that prisoner guy.
Yeah, you should just skip that season, dude. That season.
Just skip it to the second season? Okay.
Because they're anthology seasons, so the first season has nothing to do with the second season. And the first season, I said, the first, every episode except for the last episode was really good. And then I just felt everything they did in the last episode killed it. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, first of all, I started watching it because of Annie, because of Misery. And so I was wondering where this was going.
Where does she come in?
Yeah, I was this is a tremendous backstory. When does she come in?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, cool.
derailed us.
No, that was good stuff.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. Should we just jump into this?
I think we should.
All right. We've small talked ourselves out.
I do need to say one thing, a correction from my very good friend and fan, Amber. She reached out to me to let me know in the Veronica episode, I had said that the Little Monsters from like the 90s with Billy Crystal, and it was actually with, oh my God, it went right out of my head. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, Tawny. All right. So she had shared with me that it was Howie Mandel, not Billy Crystal. And she's absolutely right. And my husband thought the same thing. So the other night I was like, hey, you want to watch this? It's a horror comedy. And he's like, yeah, what are you watching? I'm like, Little Monsters. And he's like, oh yeah, I saw that one. With the blue guy, right? He's like, yeah, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, it's not that though. It's not the same movie.
Did anybody else watch this movie with you?
My husband.
Okay.
Just my husband.
Okay. Jade watched it with me too, so. I want to apologize in advance too. I just feel like forming words is difficult exactly for me today. I don't know what is happening, but I was feeling it in our Veronica episode too. There was like 2 times that I was like, I just want to can we just go back and I want to talk about the thing that you just said. It's like I can't, my fucking brain is not turning. I don't know what's happening today, but I feel the same way, so I just apologize in advance if I can't fucking handle words. And with all that being said, let me just go ahead and give you my disclaimer. Too late. We're going to cuss a bunch, and we're going to spoil this movie.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something else. God, I'm a loser.
Tell me.
I'm a loser, baby. I don't remember. Yes, I do remember. I mean, I remember what I was going to tell you. So I was listening to the beginning of a podcast called Mysteries, Murder, and Meows.
Okay.
Okay. And they're our friends on Instagram. And she opens the podcast really nicely. She says, and I have it written down on a paper in the other room. So that was helpful. But she says something along the lines of, due to the nature of this podcast, listener discretion is advised. Bada bing, bada boom. It's just like, take it for what you think it means. And I thought, oh, that's really good. I like that.
That's a nice blanket statement. Yeah, because I do wonder, because we do end up talking about graphic things in these movies, but you would think that people know what the fuck we're going to talk about because they've seen the movie. I don't know, but let's
Due to the nature
that.
of this podcast, viewer discretion is advised. Not viewer. Due to the nature of this podcast, listener discretion is advised.
Exactly. Or viewer, if you're on YouTube, whatever.
Oh, shoot, you're right. They both work.
Yes. Okay, so we're talking about Little Monsters from 2019, not that other Howie Mandel movie. So this is the synopsis. A washed-up musician teams up with a teacher and a kids' show personality to protect young children from a sudden outbreak of zombies. I should have read that before this moment, because I don't really think that's exactly a great setup. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's like, that happens like halfway through the movie, so anyway. Okay, so the director is Abe Forsythe, and the main 3 stars, I'm not going to get into all the kids, okay? There was like 12 fucking kids. I'm just not. We got Lupita Nyong'o. I hope I'm saying that right. Alexander England and Josh Gad. And so, phenomenal cast. Phenomenal. So with all that being said, I couldn't find any budget information either, so like, whatever. We're just moving on from there.
I don't even know why we picked that up. I think we're just, I don't even know.
It's
I wonder
interesting
if people
to know.
even care. I mean, yeah, I think it's interesting when you see it. It's interesting to see how well it does when it has both of the, the numbers, budget and box office. But
yeah, this one had a box office, but exactly what you're saying. Like, I feel like without the budget, there's sort of like nothing to compare to. So whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you think about this movie?
And this was a recommendation, right, from Dead Girl Superstar.
Yes.
Who I love. I think she's great. I love her content.
She's awesome.
Yes, she's so awesome. And I'm saying this because I really love her and I want her to still like me, because I did not love this movie.
Okay, I'm shocked.
But I love the cast. I was so excited. I had really high hopes for this movie. And even in the middle of it, I stopped and I looked at my husband and I'm like, am I just in a bad mood? Is that like maybe what's wrong? Because I'm not vibing with it. And he's like, no, neither am I. So because he loved that. He was excited because he loved that other one, Tucker and Dale
Oh,
versus
yeah.
Evil. Yeah. So he was excited that it wasn't just some gross horror movie. And yeah, I felt it bookended. It was a bookended movie for me. I loved the beginning.
Okay, got it.
And I loved the end. And I did not love the middle. And
Everything in between. Okay.
we can kind of get into, there were some things that I liked and some things that I didn't, but.
Yeah. Dang, I thought you were going to love this movie. I thought you were going to love it.
I know. I thought so too. We can talk about it, but you loved it.
I loved it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And Jade loved it too. Jade was like, straight up, that's a 5 for me. So that's Jade's rating.
Wow.
Is a clear top of the, you just immediately jump to a 5. Yes.
Wow. I mean, maybe I was just in a bad mood. That's insane. What else would Jade rate a 5?
Oh, I bet he'd say Hereditary, probably, as far as horror movies go. Other movies that he loves are is Pitch Black and The Count of Monte Cristo.
Ooh, I love that movie too. That's a great movie.
I think we talked about this, and I hadn't watched it until recently, and it was really good. That's just a sampling of what Jade loves.
Nice. Okay. Okay, so you loved it. That's awesome.
Yes, I thought, I'll just give kind of like a quick overview. I thought it was really fun, and, horror comedies are so iffy for me. That's why I didn't watch this movie beforehand, because every time I looked at just, the image that was created on Hulu, and it's, the main character standing on something, and she's holding, a shovel, and there's, blood and zombies. You get the sense of what it is. You're like, oh, this is a wacky horror comedy with some zombies. And I just, for some reason, I was so turned off by that I just never even saw myself watching this movie until our Instagram friend did Girl Superstar. Is it weird that I refer to her like that? Her name is Ashley, but anyway.
No, because then people will go look for her. So
that's true. Good. Yeah, we want her to we want people to look for her Instagram.
Yeah.
Because they're on Instagram. But anyway, and so I thought it was going to be really dumb. And I was really taken by surprise. And so that was maybe part of it, is that I went in with low expectations, potentially. Even though she recommended it, everything before that moment, I was like, this doesn't look like it's my cup of tea. But I thought it was super funny, and I thought it was obviously outrageous. There were parts that I just were maybe a little bit too much for me. You know what I mean? They were cringy or something. But I thought it was really funny. And the thing that I love the most about it is that it was a really weird, I can't think of another movie that I would say is like this, but it was a really weird and nice balance of dark comedy and feel-good movie. I felt like in the end, this movie had heart. Yeah. And I cried at the end. But it was so funny. I laughed out loud multiple times. So it was a really weird mix of a movie. And sometimes the tone, conflicting tones can really not be good for me. I don't like stuff where I'm confused about how I should be feeling. But this just worked for some reason for me.
Oh, so yeah, I like it. That's a really good, I would agree with you. There definitely was this really, the gross horror and the feel-good love story, and just what an amazing woman she was to the children and stuff like that. So I totally agree with that. I loved how it started off. And maybe I went into it with really high expectations because I love her, Lupita, and I love who played the frog guy, because he's in everything and he's hilarious.
Josh Gad.
Loved those two. And the clips I saw in the trailer, I was laughing. So I was really excited. I really liked how They set up all the characters. I loved when he brought his little nephew, his Darth Vader over to his girlfriend's house and broke in and they were having sex. That was hilarious. I loved that. I thought it was great. I know he was just like this loser guy in the beginning, but you know, there was something in kind of endearing about him. I thought it was funny when she made him sing at the front of the bus. So I really liked all of that. And I'm trying to, where it started to go downhill for me was I really like her, but I got really over I thought it hit me as really stupid. And I mean, it's supposed to be over the top of this whole, we're playing a game. Everything is wonderful. Don't you worry about this and don't you worry about that. Maybe I was looking way too much into it because taking it way too seriously is probably what I was doing. Because at the end of the day, you are fucking up these kids either way. You either let them know, okay, look, we don't know what's going on with these people outside, but I am here for you. I'm going to take care of you. Or I will remember for the rest of my life my really nice and absolutely psychotic kindergarten teacher that took me on this horrific game adventure. I did giggle when the kids started saying what I was thinking. Make the game stop. The one little girl that walks up and goes, this game makes no sense. And I was like, yes, little girl, yes. So that and her, she had a moment of like really, she just was so, even with the shovel. And then when she went up to the big guy who was cursing and everything, the Josh Gad, is that his name?
Yeah.
And she was like,
Teddy McGiggles, I think was his name in the movie.
She was like, you need to, shut the hell up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. And I did. And there were moments like I loved when she went, okay, first of all, when she went to go get the backpack and she's literally dodging these slow zombies. The zombies were so funny and she's dodging them. And then all of a sudden stops. There's only 4 zombies right there. Stops, gets a shovel, waits for these 4 zombies to approach her while she's doing this. And at that point, I'm just like, gosh, this is stupid. But I did love how when she returned, she was drenched in blood. There's these moments where, and she's just like, hello, and so I did think that was funny.
She's like, I got caught in the middle of a jam throwing fest or something weird. I was just was
probably supposed to be so silly, stupid, over the top, but that hit me the wrong way. Yeah. And I was like, this is just, and then the guy, her love interest, I was just not interested in him for until he started being a nice guy. I was just so over it. And the last thing I'll say is I was so disappointed with Mr. Giggle guy.
Teddy McGiggles.
I was so disappointed because I thought it started off strong. And I liked when he's like, sorry, fuck you. I don't care about the kids.
Yeah.
And then it was just so grossly violent. It struck me the wrong way when he was just like, fuck you kids. And I fuck these moms. And these are the things I do to them sexually. And I did. Yeah. It just grossed me out. And then when he was going, I fucked your mom and smashing these zombie kids. I didn't find that funny at all. I thought he was just disgusting, really, at that point. And I wasn't laughing at all.
Yeah. I would agree that I think that was one of the moments that maybe other people found very funny, but I was just like, it was like one of those moments in this movie that were like, I couldn't help but kind of giggle at it because it was so over the top, inappropriate, but it's not really my brand of comedy. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying about that.
I thought it was funny in the beginning and then it just escalated and just got more even my husband, who, he's not he's fine with that kind of comedy and listens to all different types of stand-up comedians, and stuff like that. But some of the stuff he's saying, and he would just glance at me and he's like, oh, what the fuck? And then just to end it, actually, but I love the ending. I actually really liked when the zombies were doing, if you're happy and, clap your hands. It made me giggle. It made me laugh. It made me laugh when they spent all of this time protecting the kids and making them think everything was okay. They drive through the barricade and then the gunfire. That was so good.
They're all screaming with their hands over their ears. That cracked me up too. That was a good, I think, dark comedy moment.
Yes. Oh, it really irritated me. I'm sorry. I just have to say, when the guy, just the guy, the brother, who was in love with the teacher, is on the top of the van, and he finally gets cell service for his sister. And she's like, "Where are you? What's going on?" And he's just like, "I just have to tell you, thank you." How about this is where the kids are. This is what's happening right now. You know, how about like give her some viable information? That irritated me. I wanted to barf on his face. I thought that was stupid.
That's annoying. I think you and I are constantly just pragmatic. Like, because I agree with that, and the part where she stops and tries to kill all those zombies. Well, like, it's not even all of them, it's like 5 of them. She's gonna kill 5 zombies with a shovel in the process of getting this like life-saving medicine for this kid. Like, I don't buy it. And so that part did drag a little bit for me in the way that you're just like, okay, come on. Like, you would just run right past him, grab the stuff. Although
because she just ran past hundreds of other zombies,
a bunch of them. But I did think it was really funny when she got on the truck and they're all the same backpack. She's like,
yeah,
of course.
See, there's moments like that made me smile, but I didn't hold that feeling consistently throughout the entire movie to make me say, wow, I really liked this movie.
That makes sense. It's certainly quirky. Like, I would definitely use the word quirky to describe this movie, and so I could see that it's, for some people it works and for some people it doesn't.
Yeah. So you made me laugh looking at it. When the little boy went in and his ex-girlfriend was having sex with that man, and they walked in and she's yelling it, they're yelling, and as he's leaving and he's yelling, he's like, "You need to stop having sex in front of little kids." It's like those little moments where it was just like a perfect line, and it was super funny.
I know, it really cracked me up. I also really like the part where he's like, "You're gonna," what did he say? He was like, "I'm not gonna come back here." Like, he's like, "You're not gonna see me here again." Like, after the whole interaction, and he goes and grabs his bong, and he's like, "You're not gonna see me around here again." That made me laugh, because I was like, okay, bye. Like, he's obviously, they go way over the top, I feel like, in a way, of him being so self-indulgent, right? Like, so self-aggrandizing and selfish and whatever. And so I think that could have maybe been dialed back a little bit. Like, it was like definitely a caricature version of this. But I don't know. I still thought it was funny.
No, I liked all of that. I literally liked it up until they saw their first zombie.
Yeah. See, so that part, like, is some of the stuff that maybe I could have done without. Like, I just wish it had been, like, a little bit more subtle, because it's, like, we're, like, way over the top. We're, like, cartoon character level. But again, it wasn't enough to, like, ruin the movie for me or anything. I just was, like, it made it satisfying when he flipped for me. Right?
I did like his flip. I liked it because up to that point, I was, like, over him. I was just over him. And then when he had that flip, when his little nephew was, first of all, what an excellent performance by that little boy having that attack. Yeah. Like, it was scary. And seeing him worried about this little boy that he loves, even though he tries to act like, fuck it, you know? Yeah. And that was really great. I like that.
Yeah. I don't have many like notes about the movie as a whole, other than moments that I thought were just extremely funny. So, like, I like, just before we forget, the part where he is Darth Vader and he brings him to the apartment. One of the other things that made me laugh so hard is when he's like, he goes to leave and he's like, "Come on, Darth Vader," and he goes to the outside of the door. He like holds out his hand, he shuts the door. That was so funny.
That was cute. It was very cute.
God. And then one of my favorite parts, well, I mean, first of all, I just think there's something notable about the fact that they had, I think they said 12 kids, like, and they're in the movie. They're like in most of the movie, and kids are very difficult to work with. And so just these kids did a phenomenal job, I thought, all of them. And one kid in particular, his name is Max in the movie, but he has like the curly hair and he's just constantly the one screaming.
Yes.
This just tickled me in a way that I didn't think it was going to, but it was cracking my ass up because he's constantly just screaming. Like, he's just like having a tantrum screaming, you know, like they're on the bus and he's like, ah, like.
Yes, I like that too.
It was so funny. And then he's like, I want to go, Papa, golf. He's just having a meltdown.
And at that point, I was feeling it with him.
Yeah.
So I would appreciated him. I loved the kids. There was one, I didn't remember which kid it was. I just have this here. A little kid was screaming, "Take me fucking home. I'm not playing this game any longer." Was it that kid with the curly hair?
I don't remember.
So funny. And I was like, yes. Yes. Because it's those moments, I know it's supposed to be over the top and silly, but those moments of realness I really liked. Because you would be, even if you're a kid, you would be like not cool with this, especially if you thought it was a game. If you thought it was a game that could end. Right. You would be like, dude, I'm not liking you, Miss Caroline, right now. I want my mom.
Yes. You know? Yeah, totally. I heard just a random assortment of things that I thought were extra hilarious. When they cut to like the military and there's like the general or whatever, and he goes like, somebody brings in something, he goes, "Sir, I think this will help," and they put down the map of the fucking I don't know why, but that was so
good.
Funny. And then they show him with the map later, like it's like an actual map. I don't know, it just tickled me because it's like a cartoon, it's a bullshit map.
It's just a bullshit map, and I noticed that too, with a big round red circle around that, you know, the gift shop, and that's what he's carrying around as the
very
vital
official business.
Yes,
that really made me
Can
laugh.
I tell you something about that general that I loved? And again, small moment, very quick, where he said, "Did you say there's kids?" "Yes, sir, there are kids." And he's like, "I can't kill kids again."
No, I wrote that one down too because it was so funny.
So good.
I also liked when he was like, what did he say? Oh, it's him talking, but one of the other people, he's like, "What is that? Is that like some kind of instrument?" And he goes, "Sir, that's a ukulele, sir." Yes. Screams it at him.
I loved that too.
We like rewound it and watched that a bunch of times because it was so funny.
This is so small, but again,
it's tiny things in this movie that are very funny.
I just wish there was more of those for me in the middle, because again, loved the beginning and loved the end. Both of us did. But when after the kids get through and they're like, "Oh, yay, we're saved," then all these mass people grab the kids and they're throwing them in the trucks, and he picks up the bigger kid and is like, Jesus Christ.
I forgot about that. That made me laugh really hard too.
I think I literally just snorted in the microphone. That was good. The ending was really good too. I loved it. How all the kids and they were singing that song, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cute. It was really cute ending after like like dark comedy, you know, crazy middle. And so
yeah, because even when that makes you think, they're like, is it the fast zombies or the slow zombies? It's the slow zombies. Like, okay, there's all these types of zombies people don't know about, and these ones happen to get out. Yeah,
that was pretty funny too. I forgot about that part too. He goes, and there's something else too before that they said that made me laugh. It was like, what is it? He's like, "Zombies again." I think that's what it was. It's like you just in a hot second you get the whole of the world. There are zombies. They've dealt with them, the military, and now the question is, are they fast or are they slow? Like, so how do we deal with that? So all of that, I was just like a very genius scene, I thought. I really liked that. And the only last one that I have written down is like a super funny scene. And I think there are a bunch that I don't remember that I didn't write down, but I fucking love it. When they're shooting the zombies, I don't even know if you caught this because it was so fast. I didn't. Jade rewound it and had me watch it. But they shoot the guy who was like the puppet guy for like whatever, McGiggles or whatever the frog was. I forgot what his name. So they shoot him and he starts to go down, and then they have a close-up of somebody shooting the sock puppet like as if he's like an actual person. And
I did not see that.
We died because it's like just so outrageous that they're like sharpshooters, that they're gonna like get the puppet with a headshot as he's falling. It was just so funny.
I would have liked that. I didn't catch it.
Okay.
I would have totally loved that.
It was quick.
Same sort of like, so ridiculous, like that frog was alive. Yeah. I love that.
So dumb. But yeah. So like that's really all I have as far as like review notes. And then I
Okay.
have some like little tidbits.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to talk about any more before we get into that.
No, that's all I had. It was like I didn't hate it. I just didn't enjoy the middle, which was such a big portion of it, but I really love the beginning and end.
Yeah. I could see how the middle drags a little bit, right? Like it's we could get there faster, I think, throughout the middle. That may have helped, maybe. But
Yeah, and I
yeah.
liked that guy was supposed to be a kid guy, but he was really just a sleazeball. For me, but you're right, other people just probably love that. If they dialed back the violent, he was just so disgusting to me.
He was,
like that it
yeah.
didn't even make me laugh. Some of the stuff that he was saying, and again, don't get me wrong. I've heard comedians joke about sex and women's parts and men's parts. It's the delivery. And this guy was just coming off to me like this sicko bastard. He was just so nasty. And I love this actor. So
yeah. I mean, he did a really good job of coming across as like a total shitbag.
Like he should have been,
I mean?
he should have been in a drama about a drug, sex addict, alcoholic kids TV show guy.
Yeah,
like totally. He could have played a serious role
with this content.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I can get into kind of some of what I have here.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the stuff that I got from IMDb, and then I'm going to move into my own personal notes, which are a mess. Just a quick look at 5 like arrows all over the place. Because what I did was I went and watched a bunch of like interviews with the director and with the actors and stuff. And so I'm just going to kind of like try to paraphrase what I got from the interviews. So I'll start with the clean IMDb stuff first.
Okay.
So the first one is, originally the producers couldn't get the rights to use Taylor Swift's Shake It Off in the film as they were denied by the record label. But Lupita is a big fan of the song and saw it as a pivotal part of the screenplay, which led her to personally get in touch with Swift to explain why the song was important to her and the narrative, after which Swift granted her the rights.
Nice. I like that.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that's very cute.
I liked that. Also, anytime I just had one of those moments where I was like, I sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. I think it's genuinely cute.
No, that is very cute. You didn't sound sarcastic.
Okay, good. Just covering my bases. This film is dedicated to Abe Forsythe, the director's son, Spike, whose first day of kindergarten inspired parts of the story.
Aww.
And Spike appears as the school kid zombie in the movie. And Abe Forsythe appears as the police officer at the beginning of the film. So they both have cameos.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't remember where they are, so I'm sorry. You'd have to go back and actually watch the movie to see where they are, unless you remember. But I also kept in here, I thought this was a neat little tidbit. The game that they play, that Felix and David play, is Left 4 Dead 2, which is a zombie game, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And this says it was Josh Gad's idea to bite the nose off of the zombie kid. That was one of those moments where I was like, I was like, ha ha ha. But like, why would you do that? That's a terrible idea. You're gonna get the zombie blood in your mouth.
Yes.
I don't know. That's just, again, it's like the pragmatic side of myself. Like, I'm like, no, you can't do it. You're gonna get infected. Okay, so now I'll move to this stuff that I gathered. So I apologize. I'm just gonna paraphrase, and I'm sorry if I fuck something up. This was Lupita's first comedic role. And as a side note to that, I watched an interview with the director, Abe, and he was talking about, like, you know, they had like a handful of hopefuls for the lead for this teacher role. And they were talking to someone, I can't remember, maybe it was like an agency or something. And they were like, who would be like your drop dead best top person for this if you could pick anybody in the world. And he was like, Lupita, for sure. Like, she would be great in this role, but there's absolutely no way. It's a low budget movie where they did it in like Australia. He's an Australian director. He's like, she's never going to go for that. But they sent something to her agent, I guess, and she had just told her agent, like, I want to do something different. I want to do just something totally different than what I've done so far. And he was like, well, I got this script, and sent it to her, and she read it and like loved it and connected with it and decided to do it based on that. So isn't that interesting?
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
They just like, were like, she would be the dream. Like the dream top person, and they just took a shot, and she ended up being in it. I thought that was cute.
I thought that was cute too, and I loved her in it. And I even have here, I wrote best kindergarten teacher ever. She really seemed like she loved kids. Like she did the role really well.
Agreed. She was divine in this. Like,
yeah.
I spent some time deciding which word to use to describe how well I think she did this role, and that's it. That's like what I can think of.
Yeah.
Because she plays it so perfectly, and in some of these interviews, I heard that she had done extensive research on being a kindergarten teacher, and specifically being a kindergarten teacher in Australia.
Oh, wow.
In preparation for this role, which I don't know what the difference between Australia and other places would be necessarily, but I think that comes through, right? Like, she's doing like the tricks to get them to pay attention to her. She just has such a great chemistry with the kids. I think other people wouldn't have had that same.
I agree. I totally agree. I thought she did a phenomenal job.
She was so great.
Yeah.
One thing that Josh Gad said that I thought was really interesting is he talks about his own character. He was like, you've got this character on the inside of the gift shop that in a lot of ways is a much bigger monster than the monsters outside. And again, I'm paraphrasing now this part, but they do talk about like, Miss Caroline is trying to protect these kids from both the inside threats, Josh Gad, Teddy McGiggles, and the outside threats, the zombies. And so she has to do that for both. I loved that scene where she does go up and like has it in his like gut, and she's like, you are gonna fucking go along with this or else I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like, she's like, you need to get it together. I loved that scene a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, so like a little bit more context on, I told you from IMDb earlier that this was based on like his own son's experience. So what he said there is like his son has, allergies and had never been cared for anybody outside of the family until he had to go to kindergarten. And then so he was like, I was really kind of nervous to send my kid off with this person who has never cared for him, with, in addition to teaching him things and like being a kindergarten teacher, now she's like in charge of his dietary stuff in a way that just is kind of crazy to think about. And I don't know that I would have ever considered that because I don't have kids. But I was like, that makes total sense. And then he like went and did a, field trip with the class and got the idea on the trip for this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But he talks about, how big of an impact his son's kindergarten teacher had on him. Even he was like, it was amazing to just see this person show like my child a world outside of his own family, and how she was able to do that. So he says like this movie is a tribute to kindergarten teachers.
Oh, that's so cute. That's very true.
Yes. And I mean, the heart of it, this is my counter. Well, it's not a counter, but like this is what I would say in response to your qualms about her like not giving in to the game. Like, I've seen him talk about this, and again, I'm like super paraphrasing here, so sorry if I'm just using my own words, but he talks about how like, obviously this is not necessarily a zombie movie. Like, there are zombies in this movie, but the zombies are really a stand-in metaphor for like anything that you would want. So like the whole movie is about protecting children from things that would like ruin their innocence. essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
and she is charged with, as a kindergarten teacher, protecting them and keeping their innocence. And so I think that part of the reason probably why she signed on and what he likes about this movie is just that heart of it, like protecting the kids. So the fact that she doesn't give it up, I think I'm okay with knowing that, because that's like, at the end, that's the that's the moral of the story. And he, in one of these interviews, he was talking about, like, it's a metaphor for a lot of things that can take away kids' innocence. He was like, and he makes a mention of, there's even things going on in your country. He's referring to the person who's interviewing him. Some things that are going on in your country specifically. And I don't know who was interviewing him. I think the like YouTube channel and company was Vanity Fair, maybe, or Variety. It started with a V. Sorry, I can't remember. But I read a comment that said, is he referring to like school shootings? And so I don't know, and I don't think we know exactly what he's referring to there, but I think it could be school shootings. I think it could be, anything that's like an assault on children's innocence and their positive outlook on the world. And I guess he's made a different movie before that I hadn't heard of, but that movie I read has like a pessimistic outlook. Like, it's a pessimistic movie, and he was like, this movie, I wanted to be optimistic, and I wanted to have like a feel good, we can do this. We can protect our kids from the onslaught of terrible things. So I think you get that. I think you get that from the movie. That's why I liked it. I think that's why I cried, not knowing the full depth of that. But I thought that was really nice. And it backs up the fact that I feel like this movie had heart.
Yeah, I like that. I like that everything you were saying about how it's a metaphor for protecting innocence. The pragmatic part of me came in and was like, I don't fully agree with absolutely sheltering children from all truth, in order to make everything seem like it's cotton candy and rainbows.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I don't think you have to tell them all the horrible truths, but they need to have some truth. And when you mentioned the school shootings, I was thinking even that, like, I remember picking up my daughter. My oldest daughter was in elementary school, so she was in the first or second grade. And I got there right at a time that they had an active shooter drill. And it was new. Now all schools do it. But back then that was like brand new thing they were implementing. And my little, second grader was saying, yeah, they said that to just, if the guy with the gun comes in the room, to lie down and pretend you're dead or hide under somebody else. I remember I was so disturbed by that. But I would want her to do that as well. You know what I mean? But removing that reality and just over the top metaphor for protecting a child's innocence and protecting them at all cost, I think is awesome. I think that's an awesome, sweet idea.
Well, but I see what you're saying, and that's a good point. I think that you could carry on a lengthy, probably, discussion about this. Like, how much is too much? How much can you protect or should protect children? To what extent should their innocence be? Should you try to be a mitigator for those things? I don't know. I think that's an interesting topic on its own. Obviously, we're not a psychology. I don't even know what that would fall under.
I'm a mother, though.
Philosophical discussion.
I think it'd be more philosophical, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, a psychologist would be cool to come in and be like, blah, 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 and not blah, 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 like they're not important, but this is the, like, scientific thing about minds and stuff. But then it would be philosophical, because you would start getting into what is innocence, though? What is saying a bad word destroying a child's innocence? Like, innocent for what? Like, just not fucking knowing anything? Literally think, you know what I mean? But anyways, I love that idea of that movie being a metaphor for that. You know what I mean? That does make it make more sense to me.
Yeah, it feels less, I mean, obviously in the context of the movie, there you do start to feel like, okay, just tell these kids what's going on or something,
The
like what
kids
if they...
tell them. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell? This doesn't make sense. Even
Take
the
me
kids
home.
are saying, like, look, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but this doesn't make any sense to me and I'm scared.
Yeah, somebody's like, this is scary. She's like, it's meant to be scary.
Yeah, why? Why are you doing this to me? I had this kindergarten teacher and I loved her. She was so kind, and then she did this really weird thing to me. She kept me overnight. There was blood everywhere.
Jesus, yeah. Then you'd be scarred reciting that story. Okay, I think that was it.
But what you just said reminds me of like looking at a painting and what a painting is. You know what I mean? Like the message it's trying to, I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me in my own head, but like it's a piece of art that's trying to display or convey, this feeling and the need to protect our children a little more because the world is so violent. And her being that, I loved how much she loved those kids. I really loved that about her performance. So I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, totally. This is a total side note thing, but it just made me think about like my own innocence in a way. And like, I don't know why it made me think of this, but it's like one of the moments that I think I remember I was like older too. I was like a teenager. I was probably 15 or so. I was in high school. So I was probably 15, 14, somewhere in between there. I don't know. Maybe even 16. Not that it matters that much.
I was 35.
I was somewhere between the ages of 10 and 19.
Yeah.
But I was definitely in high school. And we had started hanging out with these older kids. I think I was a freshman or sophomore, whatever age you are at that point. And we started hanging out with these older kids who were like juniors and seniors, who were like, we thought they were like really cool. And they were, I'm not saying that they were cool, but they were like obviously just almost adults and we were not. And I remember at one point, one of them, she had this little pin on her shirt or her bag or something. And it was a pin of a hanger with a slash through it, like no hangers. And me and all of my dumb childlike innocence, I was like, I don't know why, but I just think of this as like one of the moments that was one of my first tastes of reality. And I remember going up to her and being like, haha, that's really funny. Like, you're like, no hanging up clothes. Like, you're like, anti-hangers. Like, you fold all your clothes. Like, I don't, like, I'm like a child. I'm just like making a joke about it. I'm like, haha, that's funny. And she's like, yeah, no, this is for, it's because people, when they don't have access to abortions, they perform them themselves with hangers and end up seriously injuring themselves or even maybe killing themselves. And I just was like, oh, Tawny. Oh. Like, I didn't even know, right? Like, that was the first time I had ever heard of anything like that. And I was just like, it just blew my fucking mind. And I think about that even still, like, it's like 15 years later, and I'm like, how fucking naive. I mean, there's no reason for me for anybody to expect me to know what that would be before that moment. So I'm not like beating myself up, but it's just an interesting point in my life where I just feel like everything pivoted, right? Where I was like, holy shit, what else do I think is funny that's not funny?
Oh, poor Tawny. Oh my God. I just want to cradle that little you. Oh, that was so harsh. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying.
She wasn't like mean about it in any sort of way.
No, but it's so intense though versus what you were thinking it was.
Yeah, I'm like,
you don't like cleaning your room.
Yeah, I'm like, you have some very strong opinions about how you store your clothes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, anyway. No, now you got me thinking. I mean, it's too late for my kids. Because I curse, I'm trying to get better around the kids, and I don't curse at them. Let's just make that clear. I just feel this need that if I really want to emphasize a word that it has a curse word with it. Like I could say, I am so happy. Or I could say, I am so fucking happy.
Yeah.
That is more happy than the happy before. So
It is. It's like, yeah. Well, and if it makes you feel better, on the cursing side of things, I remember saying my first curse word far before I learned about what the actual hanger pin meant. It was in elementary school, and I remember, like, I don't even remember where I heard it. It probably was my family, or maybe TV. But I went up to somebody, and I straight up was like, hey, I was all, listen, that guy over there, he's a motherfucker. That was my first taste. That was my first taste of cussing. And, you know, it's just been there ever since.
What did the other kid do?
I don't even remember. I don't even know. I think they probably were shocked. Yeah, I think it was like...
I love it.
And then in like middle or elementary school, I told my friend who couldn't come over. Her mom was like, oh no, you can't come over. Again, I'm like, you know, what, 7 or something? 6? Who knows? And I'm like, tell your mom to fuck off. That's what I said.
Tawny. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was a bad kid. No, I really was not. But like, she told her mom, and because she like felt guilty about it or something. But she told her mom that I said piss off instead of fuck. So she like ratcheted down.
Oh, that's good.
The cuss word. But my grandma, Kiki, she was still pissed. She was like, I remember, I will never forget the like 45-minute process that we had to get ready to leave the house and go to their house so that I could personally apologize to her. Like I remember She didn't fucking say anything to me, right? And so I'm like, are you mad? Are you mad at me? She's like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was so dramatic.
Oh my God, that's great. I don't even remember the first time I cussed. I think my dad cussed. My dad cussed in Greek a lot. So he would say Greek curse words, and then I said one once. See, I won't even say it on the air because he looked at me, he's like, don't ever say that. That's like a horrible thing to say. And I was like, oh my God. But I know now what they mean. But one is like, it's something about the Sacred Mary. So I think it's like saying Jesus Christ or something like that. And the other one is, I don't even know what the other one means. If it's bad, his reaction, ooh, I got in trouble for that one. But I don't know what it was. He said it all the time. Oh,
I just don't think that's like an innocence thing. You know, like I just think when I think of like people's innocence, like that's not it. Like cussing. But like when you start to realize like, oh, some people in the world are really bad. Yeah, like, and very bad shit can happen to people randomly. Like you could have nothing to have, you know, it just happens. And I think that's when the innocence comes crumbling.
I've definitely probably failed that as a mom, but hopefully they forgive me. Like my little one, she has 2 older sisters, and she has me. I watch horror shows. I don't watch them with her, but you know, and she's walked in and been like, oh, now she'll walk in and go, are you watching a scary movie? With her eyes closed. But like she plays, and she loves it, plays Among Us with her sisters, and that's these little colorful characters. For those of you who don't know, I don't know a lot about it, but they kill each other. You have to vote people off, you know, and she watches Gaming with Kev, and he does a lot of Roblox and stuff like that. So that's why we started watching him, and we love him. We think he's great. One day I walked in and he was playing Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
She was laughing, and he's awesome. We love Gaming with Kev, and it just slips in, or she goes through and watches like these little TikTok videos, and then I'll hear something because she's just watching these silly little ones with these little, like, it's like whatever. But then something will pop in there. So, yeah.
There's only so much you can do. Kids are going to pick it up. They're going to pick it up at home, on the internet, or from their friends. Like, I was watching Bride of Chucky when I was like, I don't know, way too fucking young, because all the parents knew we shouldn't be watching it, so we just went down the street to somebody else's house. The parents weren't there. So it's just like, it's gonna happen no matter what, you know?
You know, it's things like, and there's a whole, I'm gonna just take it up one next level and we don't have to finish the conversation. But it's things, and I feel really strongly about it as well, like sex and, you know, watching movies or things that contain that sort of a trouble with words is what I'm having.
Erotic?
Because I was going to say, no, I'm not talking about porn. I was going to say genre, but no, it just has sex in it. Content. Just has that content in it, in the movie, right? Not porn, but just sex in general. And parents that are just like, no, we don't talk about it. Hide your face. Because here's the problem, in my opinion. Do whatever you want. Raise your happy, healthy kids. In my opinion, it makes the kid want to see it more. There's nothing spooky or interesting or crazy. Just present it. Just take all the mystery and wonder and what are the darn words I'm trying to use? The taboo out of it. It is what it is. I remember I told my kids, not the little one, I've not had this conversation with her, but when it was time, and I don't remember when it was, and I was talking to the kids because they were asking me about it, and I told them straight up what sex was. And I was like, and you need to be really careful. I'm not someone that's like, you have to wait till marriage or anything like that. But I was like, you have to be very careful because you could get a disease. And the diseases are disgusting. And and pretty much if you've been listening to our podcast, I'm all about like traumatizing them with fear. And it's so disgusting. And some of them never go away. And they're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So, because even when, you know, they have sex, that they would, when they made that decision, that they would at least be scared enough to use a condom, right?
Right.
So, and they grew up with their little sister, she's feisty, and she was a feisty baby. So I don't think they're going to be going, I want to have babies with my boyfriend because they know what it's like. But anyways, I just think when you really demonize something, you make it more appealing. You really heighten that curiosity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a curiosity about it that you need to, you know, I did that all the time. There was a couple times that, you know, my grandparents were watching a movie and they would be like, oh, okay, you're going to have to leave the room for this part or whatever. And I'd go into a different room and put it on the TV because I was like,
what are they watching?
You going to hide it from me? No way. I'm going to watch it too.
So that brings us full circle because I'm the same, because as soon TT will be watching, she will not even care because she'll be like playing her video game or something. And as soon as something comes on where she could feel like the room is heightened because tense. We want to keep her from seeing something, she'll all of a sudden be on full alert, like wanting to see it. So hence why I don't watch anything anymore. Because I'm trying to find something I could watch where I'm not going to want to close her eyes. Because although I'm not like, she's not asking about it, and she's not like sex, she's not asking about anything like that, she's a little one, she's innocent still, minus Among Us and cursing, and so I don't want to make her curious about it because I'm acting all weird, you know, about it. But we also aren't like this, I don't want people to think we're like this free-flowing family and we have sex on the TV with everybody in the room.
I can't speak for everybody else, but I did not get that. I did not get that sense. So
yeah, we're a pretty chill household. We just, you know, I tend to, and I think I've said it before. I don't remember, but words are words unless they hurt somebody's feelings. In my opinion, I would not ever stand for one of my kids saying, "You're fat, you're stupid, you're ugly," like that. That is by far worse than them saying fuck or motherfucker.
Totally.
And if I heard them saying that, you know, they would be in trouble. Mm-hmm. And that's how we operate. Although I do teach them as well. I taught my 6-year-old that there's some people that really, really don't like those words.
Yeah.
So to be polite, you shouldn't use them at school. You shouldn't use them at other people's houses because some people just really don't like them, and it can hurt their feelings when you say them.
Totally. And I think that's the skill. That's the takeaway, right? Is there's a time and a place, and sometimes you just shouldn't. And you know, I cuss up a storm when I'm comfortable, right? Like on this podcast, I'm comfortable because I'm just sitting here talking to you. And so I cuss a bunch. But at work, if there are other people around. With my team, I'm like also myself, just cussing up a storm because everybody else is the same way. We all are just a boat full of sailors, but you know, other people or whatever, different situations, when you're meeting new people, like I take it down 1,000 notches because I'm not about to be like, fuck this and fuck that, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, it's not necessary. If it truly does offend other people, even though we don't understand why it's offensive, it offends other people, and I'm happy to be respectful of that. I don't have to curse just to like prove who I am as a human being. Who I am as a human being is I respect you as well, and if that bothers you, then cool. Unless you're going to listen to our podcast and then be like, I
upset about it.
You need to stop cursing. You need to find a new podcast.
Yeah. Sorry. But that's true.
Oh my God. Well, that was good. That was a good conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad that you liked the little tidbits. I feel like there was here's another one. I actually forgot about this one, but this is the only other one I have. Is Lupita had to learn how to play the fucking ukulele. She had never played a string instrument. I thought so too. I mean, obviously, I don't play a ukulele, so I don't know. And in this interview, she was like, please don't judge my playing. Like, I'm not a professional. But I'm not playing a professional playing a ukulele either. She's just a kindergarten teacher who's like playing it to have fun. But I thought she did a phenomenal job. But
yeah, she did.
Anyway,
and
sorry.
She's the actress also in Us, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So good. I just wanted to do I totally forgot this in the beginning, a quick little shout out to Full Metal Battle Jacket. What a fun, engaging, we had a post that said, do you believe, I want to get it right, do you think Ouija boards are invite evil? And the story Full Metal Battle Jacket shared, oh my gosh, Battle Jacket, yeah, I said it right, it was amazing. And so Thank you, first of all, for sharing that. And what a phenomenal writer. This could be a book. This could be a short story. It was so good.
That's what I was saying. I was like, bro, package the shit up and sell it because it is so good. Like, it could be a short story. It could be like a blog thing. Somebody could read it. You know, like you could pump it up and have it be a full feature-length movie. As I was reading the story, I could visualize everything.
Me too.
That was being talked about. And so I was just like, wow, this is incredible. Right?
I could picture the field. I could picture the house. I pictured the whole thing.
The creature, like where they were.
The creature. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so good.
Dude, it was so good.
I got chills when it was even like talked about getting chills in the story. So I recommend too that you should go and read this story because it was like they had to break it up into different sections, right? So go check it out.
Yeah, go to our Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick, and it's our post, do you think Ouija boards invite evil? And there you'll see it. It's a beautiful, big, long, awesome story.
Yes.
All right, so now is the moment of truth. What would you rate this movie?
I've gone back and forth. I've given it a lot of thought. I've looked at the list, and here's what I'm going to give it, a 3.75, which I also gave The Purge election year, because I feel like I don't like it as much to be a 4. I liked it. I loved it. It was really fun, but like, I don't know that I'd ever revisit it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think it's a movie that I'd go back and rewatch necessarily. So that's why that's the 4 for me, is like a movie that I want to actively rewatch several times. And I don't think it's quite there, even though I loved it. So I'm going to give it a 3.75 because I also loved The Purge election year, but I'm not going to go back and like rewatch that a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I did the same. I went back and forth and back and forth. So I am going to give this movie a 2.75.
Okay.
And I had given Pet Sematary and Creepshow a 2.5. And I given Predator a 3. And people may hate me for saying this, but I did love Predator more.
Okay.
Than this movie, which I think makes you happy because
it does. And it does because it's controversial, and I think people will have a problem with it. But I also liked the Predator. But I gave the Predator a lower score than this.
Yeah.
So
So she's covering her butt. She's like, so hate Felicia more. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2.75. I feel solid with that based on my feeling. I thought there were funny moments. But say with Predator, I thought there were more of those funny moments throughout the movie that actually sustained me through the movie.
Okay, yeah.
But it was not like a, original Pet Sematary level for me, right?
Okay. Yes. Okay. That's good. We're still a little bit split. We'll have to see where we land next week.
Yeah, because we had this. We had agree, and then like split.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've been split on the last one. Well, I don't know. We've been split in the way that we haven't had the same scores for quite some time, but like big split we did on Veronica, I feel like. So.
Yeah, I had to get you back. So what are we watching next week?
What is our first one? Oh, is it Gremlins? Am I remember that right?
Oh, no, The Lodge.
The Lodge. Okay, yes. So
next week we're watching The Lodge. We do have Christmas or holiday themed movies coming up for you. So December 1st, we will post that, our schedule for December. But the first one is The Lodge.
The Lodge. Okay.
And this was the people that made Goodnight Mommy, right?
Yes. And I feel like we got a good, it seems like a good pulse from Alexis at Shutterspace. It seems like she liked this one, so I'm excited to watch it, but I'm not going to look up anything about it because I don't want to repeat my Goodnight Mommy situation where like I know what's going to happen, because it does seem like it's a slower pace, and so I don't want to ruin being impatient on top of knowing what's going to happen. So yeah,
I agree with that. I started watching the trailer, but I only got a minute in and then I stopped, and I got the vibe it was going to have a pace like Goodnight Mommy, but it intrigued me, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and it showed up on a list of movies that were Christmas related, but I have no idea why, and I don't want to look it up. So
yeah, I think it just takes place during that time period. It was kind of like a what was that movie we watched? Oh, the one that my husband kept going, "Why are you watching this Halloween month?" The Predator.
Yeah.
I was like, because it's on Halloween night that it happens, but really it doesn't have anything to do with Halloween.
Very lightly related to Halloween.
Yeah, very lightly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yes. I guess that's it. This was kind of a short one, so.
That was kind of a short one, but I'm sure the listeners don't mind. Remember, check us out, follow us, subscribe, leave comments. If you feel so inclined, leave a review. We love it. We love hearing how you guys like the content. So far, everyone likes it. That is communicating with us. Maybe the people that really hate us just are like, forget it.
That's fine. Please don't be really mean.
That's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. But yeah, like and review. And we have our goal up on Patreon, our first goal, which is to cover our just operating costs for the podcast itself. So that helps us out tremendously just as a first step. Obviously, this is something that we want to do all the time and deliver as much content as possible. We want to be
all
Joe
day,
Rogan.
every day. Joe Rogan, baby.
Joe Rogan level. That's like an insane. Maybe we should pick something.
No, absolutely not.
You're right.
We're
dreamers.
Tawny? Yeah, Tawny. Maybe we should shoot for a lower dream. Tawny, shut up. Shoot for a lower dream. No, Joe Rogan.
You're right. Joe, number 1.
Yes.
Shoot for the stars.
Spotify exclusive. This is what we're doing. We are going to have the actors in these movies on our podcast.
No, you're right.
Yeah, just shoot for the stars.
Yeah, so there it is. That's what we're aiming for. So check that out.
And we have a lot of, we feel, but we also would love feedback, that we really put together a lot, you helping us get to our goals, that we're giving a lot back. We were so excited of the different tiers and what we're offering you. And so hopefully you think that's cool too. We're really excited about it.
Yeah. Got a good spread of tier packages essentially out there. So Hope you enjoyed this episode and have such a good night. No nightmares.